Okay, so here is a demonstration of something that Edison and his people did to try to prove that AC power was dangerous. This video I'm about to show you, it's not mine. Okay, I found it on the internet. It's on YouTube. Um, if you're an animal lover, you may find this disturbing, but if you just basically see an animal die, this is very disturbing. So if you don't want to watch it, I understand, just the video has no audio because it's back in like the 1890s, 1900s. So there's no audio. So if you don't want to see this part, just fast forward ahead a little bit, or just you know wait till you hear my voice again, okay? Because you're gonna see basically an animal get killed, and just so happens to be one of my favorite type of animals. Okay, so that's an elephant, as you can see, that they are going to basically electrocute. Um, Again, Edison is trying to prove that AC power is dangerous and that it kills. All right, so as you're watching this video, look at the feet of um, the elephant and look at its body language. And you can tell basically exactly when the electricity is going through its body. Again, pay attention to its feet. Yeah. Just like how I told you with um, the guy who was electrocuted, um, same thing, you know, smoke coming out of his head, from his back, his body, um, as they were electrocuting him. All right, now, again, if you look at the elephant, yeah, it's dead. Okay, so DC had lower voltage, and the thing is, it would need a power plant every mile or so. AC, on the other hand, it did have more voltage, and a power plant could basically cover a whole lot more area than just a mile or so. Um, and that's the thing that Tesla basically told Westinghouse, and that intrigued him that, hey, we don't need a power plant every so often. We could just have like one, and it's going to cover basically an entire city. Now, at Niagara Falls, if you've never heard of it, it's this big waterfall area between the US and Canada. Um, and the thing is, they wanted a hydroelectric plant, you know, but their problem was they didn't know if they want to go with AC or DC, so they're at this dilemma. Now, at 1893, there's going to be a World's Fair in Chicago. They're going to have all kinds of different things, if I remember right, they first introduced cotton candy at the World's Fair in that year. But the thing is, they wanted electricity. They wanted to light up the sky in a sense. And they basically accepted bids from Edison's company and Tesla's company. Now, Tesla's company, they ended up winning the bid. Okay, basically they're telling the people who run the Chicago thing, you're only going to pay us this much. Um, that's what a bid is, and usually you want the lower bid if you're the one who is putting on the whatever it may be. So these guys who want the electricity, they're looking for the lower bid. Tesla's company says we'll do it for $554,000. Edison's company says we'll do it for $1.7 million. All right, that is a big difference between $1.7 million and $554,000. It's like a third, of the money. So basically, in a sense, for every $3 Edison wants, Tesla's like, we'll take one. Okay. Now, so Tesla, they win the bid. But here's the thing. They had to use they well, all they did basically use was Edison light bulbs. Now, when Edison found out that they lost the bid, they were like, "Well, you know what? We'll hurt them some way or another." And the best way to do it was you can't use our light bulbs. So Tesla and Westinghouse, they had to basically create their own light bulbs, and that's what they did. Um, these light bulbs worked. They weren't perfect. Sometimes a light bulb will go off here, here, and here, but they had people going around putting new ones, taking out the old one, putting new ones. Um, and the thing is, it worked. If you look to the picture on the right, that is a picture of the World's Fair from 1893. And the thing is, it was a success. It really was. And people were just amazed at how beautiful it was. How, oh my God, look at you can see in the middle of the night and things like that. It flabbergasted people. And that was enough for the people from Niagara to say, hey, you know what, Tesla, we want you to have the contract. But here's the problem: because they were seriously they underbid Edison, they really didn't have enough money to complete the project at Niagara Falls. You know, so there they have a problem, and how things turn out is more likely not what you think. Now, the thing was, Westinghouse was about to relinquish the rights to the project, the Niagara project, and basically surrender it to Edison and his company. But Tesla was told basically, hey, you know what, your patents to your project, we can't afford to keep paying you for this much, and the wattage, and basically in the contract, what it says that we have to pay you. So Tesla believed so much in this, he basically got his contract for the patents and he tore them up so that Westinghouse could continue with the project. Now, that is huge, because that's basically money in his pocket, future money in his pocket, and he's tearing it up. He no longer has the rights to it. He's basically relinquishing it. They don't have to pay him anything, and that's huge. Now, the thing is, Edison General Electric, which was led by J.P. Morgan, kept Westinghouse in debt because he knew, hey, if I can keep this guy in debt, I can come in and buy the company, and and I can get it for myself. And the thing is, kept you know putting him in debt by threatening to sue him over the AC patents. You know, he said that they were copied, that there's an infringement, and that they're going to take him to court. Well, Westinghouse knew, more likely we're going to win. But he knew that J.P. Morgan could stretch out the trial date, make Westinghouse keep paying for lawyers. He knew Westinghouse was in debt, so he knew he could bleed them dry. And J.P. Morgan again was so extremely rich, and he knew, I can wait it out a lot more than you can. So eventually, um, Edison General Electric bought out Westinghouse, and they got a hold of all the patents that was once Edison's. Um, Now the thing is, J.P. Morgan in turn buys more stock in Edison General Electric, and he ends up having more a percentage of the company than Edison. And then he's like, you know what? We're going to get rid of the name because you've caused quite a bit of problems too. So he changes the name from Edison General Electric to just General Electric. And once they take over, JP Morgan realizes, you know what? That AC power really does work better than DC. And they switch over to it. And it's still the source of electricity we use to this day is AC. Now, on the picture to your right, there is Edison in the background, and the guy in front is the guy named Mark Twain. Mark Twain is a very charismatic writer. He's written a lot of great books. If you ever have a chance to read one of them, you should. Huckleberry Finn, Tom Sawyer, and things like that. Very, very good books. And basically, Mark Twain was fascinated with Tesla and his inventions, things like that. So they became good friends. So I thought it'd be really neat to show that picture. So here's the thing. Tesla demonstrated the radio communication 2 years before Marconi submitted his patent for the radio. Tesla did that before him, but yet Marconi gets the credit, and Marconi ends up being recognized as the man who invented the radio. And it's not until after um, Tesla dies during World War II that the U.S. patent realizes and gives credit back to Tesla that yeah, he did it first, not Marconi. Um, the thing is also Tesla demonstrated uh, a radio-controlled boat in a pool at Madison Square Garden uh, to show how wireless stuff works. So I have told you guys in class, many times, anything wireless, basically you could think Tesla. All right. Now in 1895, somehow, some way, Tesla's laboratory burns down, and it destroys years and years worth of notes and years worth of equipment, developments, things like that, prototypes, gone. Now, Tesla in 1900 actually did get some financial backing from J.P. Morgan because Morgan, again, realizes, man, this guy is smart. He knows what he's doing. Okay, so he gets approached about this thing called a global communication network that would be wireless. So J.P. Morgan's like, okay, here's the money, get it done. Now, it was situated in Wardenclyffe on Long Island, but the problem is it took so long, and he basically ran out of money before he could finish. And JP Morgan was like, yeah, no, I don't think this is going to work. And basically pulls out of the deal and refuses to give Tesla any more money. Uh, and here's the thing, supposedly it's legend that Tesla was actually kind of building a death ray. Um, whether it actually was, who knows? But because I mean, honestly, what was going through his mind, it's just no one could exactly pinpoint it. And the thing is, he spent the rest of his days in a New York hotel working on inventions, but his mental health faded. And he spent the last years basically feeding and communicating with pigeons. All right, and this is a time when people realize, man, he's sick in the head. And like I told you from the very beginning with his brother, he didn't have mental issues when he was younger, and it just continued. And as he got older, it gradually went up and up and up and up until he got old. So here is your final question. Do you think that Tesla's mental illness contributed to his genius? Or do you think because of his genius, that increased his mental illness? Right? Because my thing is, I want to see is, do you think that the illness contributed to his genius, or that because he was a genius, it made the mental illness go faster? Right? So what do you think? All right. Um, write down your answers. Okay. Now this is the end of the video. All right. So hopefully you learned something between the three videos. You learned something about Tesla and Edison. Um, now be sure you put your name on your paper and turn it into the basket when you get into class. All right. So I had fun. I hope you guys had fun, and hope you guys really learned something new about these guys. All right. So take care. Have fun.